Psalms 23 and from the top on down. Right, Psalms 23, it says, the Lord is my shepherd. So who's going to guide the people of Israel, the nation of Israel? It's going to be the Lord, man. Right? It says, and I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. Right? Right? He leadeth me, right, beside the still waters. Right? Now let's jump to, speaking on those green pastures, man. Right? And that's talking about our future as a whole nation, as a governing body. The Most High is actually gonna get us, because right now we ain't we're talking about green pastures and all of that, man. That's talking about living, pretty much living a life, man. Concrete out here. This devil's all kind of concrete all over the place, man. Ain't no peaceable place where a man can really lie down. Really, the nation of Israel can lie down and relax, man. Right? That's not the scripture say. Right, the nation of Israel was going to be amongst the nation as in a vessel that wherein there is no pleasure, man. All right. Now let's jump to the book of Ezekiel, the 36th chapter, which I went to the first time. Right. And it says there, thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, right, and say unto the mountains, right, ye mountains, hear the word of the Lord, right. So you're supposed to be hearing the word of the Lord, you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, whether you're on the internet or walking up and down, man. Supposed to be taking heed to that. All right. It says, thus saith the Lord, because an enemy has said to you, aha, and it's talking about the land, right? Because you ain't got the real people out there in the land of Israel right now. You got the so-called Jews out there, which ain't the real people of the Most High, man. Right? And you know they ain't the people of the Most High, because they doing all kind of devilish work out there. All right. It says, thus saith the Lord, because the enemy has said to you, aha, right? Even the ancient high place, even the ancient high places are ours, right? Now I'm gonna jump to this is gonna be in the book of Malachi. Right, this is gonna be in the book of Malachi. The first verse. Right, the first verse on down, it says, the burden of the word, right, of the Lord, right, to Israel by Malachi. And that dude that was up here, man. Right, because that ties in exactly with Psalms 147 chapter and the 19th verse, man. Where it talks about, he giveth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and commandments unto Israel. He ain't dealt so with any nations, no Elam, no Moab, no Ammon, no Ishmael, right? No, definitely no Edom, right? Because they're the spiritual incarnation, so to speak, right? For lack of a better word, right? Of Satan on the earth, man. They do Satan's bidding upon the earth, and the righteous within Israel do this, the bidding of the Lord, man. Right, the righteous work of the Lord. But even so, even the scripture says, man, when the Lord was on the sea, he said unto the two first, he said, ye are of your father the devil, man, and the lust of your father you will do, man. Right, so even there's gonna be there's demons that surpass the devilish works of Satan within the nation of Israel, man. Who know better, man. Right, going out here telling that the people, the people of the so-called market of beasts is an embargo. Right, they say it's Christianity when when you go into the word and you break down what it means and what it is, man. You find out the market of beasts is RFID chip, which they're gonna implant forcibly, because that ties in with the scriptures, man. Right, and doth not the scripture say, man? Didn't the Lord say, and that shall my word be, man? It shall not return unto me void, man. Right, but it's going to accomplish that which is not pleased. So if the Most High said, right, there's going to come a man, right, that's going to put a mark upon all of the people, and you ain't going to be able to buy or sell or anything like that. Guess what, man? It's going to happen, man. Right, and pretty much, man, we started that whole Christianity thing. If you really understand the history of Christianity, so that throws that in underneath the bus, man. All right. And that goes back, and it was started by the same ones, you wicked ones, man. Like back now in the reincarnation, saying Christianity is the embargo, which goes to show you how far gone you people are, man. All right. It's in Malachi. Back in Malachi, it says, "I have loved you, saith the Lord, but yet ye say, wherein hast thou, Lord, loved us? Wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother?" And what's that talking about, man? right? The fact of the matter that the Most High hated Jacob. Salakia, man sleep with his tongue sometimes, right? The fact that the Lord hated Esau, and he still hates Esau right now, man. In fact, when you go into the history of Esau, you find out that Esau is the only nation with no hope, man. They're the only nation with no hope. When you go into the book of Matthew, the 13th chapter and the 9th verse, man, what is he talking about? It's talking about tares, man. It's talking about the Edomites, man, that are mingled amongst the nation of Israel, man. Right, more specifically, going back to the sit down that the elders did now, man, he was really cutting Herod, man. Right, he was set up as a king over the Israelites because he was his mother was a so-called Jew, a so-called Negro, right? But his father was an Edomite, man, Herod the First. All right, so that the tares, man, they're still here. They're walking up and down, man. And guess what? The Most High going back into the book of Obadiah, man. The Most High gonna find them. He's gonna find them wherever they be at, man. Whether they come looking mixed race or dark skin, man. Because you got Edomites out here that look dark skin, man. They're shaft up, man. And same way, man. Because the Most High doesn't deal with the unjust balance. You got Jake out here that look white as Caesar Brose, man. But guess what? They're Jakes, man. All right. Get back to the point, man. They're gonna be bound and burnt, man. They're gonna be found wherever they at, right? And they're gonna be bound. They're gonna be burnt. In fact, when you go into the book of Amos, the 9th chapter and the 9th verse, it says, "For lo, I will command, I will sift the house of Israel like corn is sifted in a sieve, man." Right. So the Most High gonna sieve them, man. He's really gonna be sieving the elect, man. The rest is gonna be just chucked away, man. Right. Useless eaters, so you can understand, man. All right. So it's back in the book of Malachi, the 1st chapter and the 3rd verse. It says, "And I hated Esau and laid his mountains waste, and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness." What's that saying, man? Right? When I'm going to go into the book of, if I get a chance, man, when I go into the book of Isaiah, the 34th chapter, man, where that goes to talk, that speaks about Esau's heritage and what's going to happen, man. You're going to have it to where, after they've reached the pinnacle of all of their wickedness, man, and the Lord comes back on the scene, and the Lord destroys the land of America, man, what's going to happen? That land, like I said, was going to be set up as a memorial, right? For all of the different nations to know you're not supposed to buck up against the Most High, man. All right, it's gonna be set up so you can see. So all the people on the earth from generation to generation is gonna come there, man. It's gonna be set up as a wilderness, man. Matter of fact, the scripture goes on to say, ain't nobody gonna dwell in that land, man. All you're gonna have is, the birds of prey in there, right? Owls and fowls and all of that, man. That's all you're gonna have, man. All right. That's why it says here in the book of Malachi, the 1st chapter and the 4th verse, whereas Edom saith, rather more the 3rd verse, and says, "And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste," man. And like I said, that mountains is talking about his governments. So he's got his main government out there in America, which America really creates all of the mischief on the earth, man. Right? And then you got these different governments, these different Edomite governments scattered across the earth, man. But mainly in Europe and all of that, they're all gonna be destroyed, man, because they're known as NATO or the beast, so you can understand. And America's the whore, right? Going back into the book of Revelations, man. Right, so they're all gonna be destroyed, man. They're all gonna be bound and burned. Their whole kingdom's gonna be destroyed down to the ground, man. All right. It says, "Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and rebuild the desolate places. And thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I shall throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness." Right, and that's the point I wanted to bring out there. That they're known as the border of wickedness, man. Right. And going back onto the point here where it says there in the book of Ezekiel, 36th chapter and the 3rd verse, man, it ties in nice with that. It says there, therefore, rather more the 2nd verse, it says, "Even the ancient high places are us." So they're known as the border of wickedness. They go to these different countries, right? They rape, rob, and murder all the natural resources all up in those different countries, man. Right? And they've even done that to the land of the Lord, man. Right, and that's why it says here in Ezekiel the 36th chapter and the 2nd verse, halfway on down, it says, "Even the high places, which is the land of Israel, are ours, man, are in our possession." It says, "Therefore prophesy and say, right, thus saith the Lord, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up, right, on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen." All right, and are taken up in the lips of talkers, right? and are an infamy of the people, right? Because the nation of Israel is an infamy of the people, man. The Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Right? You go, there's all kind of stigmas attached to those people, man. That's how you know that's all that whole nation, man. Going back into Genesis the 49th chapter on the curses that Most High put upon the nation of Israel, the different tribes, so you can identify each tribe individually, man. Right? Going back, you know, that's how you know who they are, man. Because the Most High has made them an infamy amongst the people, man. Right, you're gonna be in the lips of talkers, man, in the lips of these different nations, man. Right, to where, in fact, the scripture says, man, you're gonna be a proverb and a reproach, man. All right. It says, therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord to the mountains, right, to the hills, to the rivers, right, and to the valleys, and to the desolate wastes, and to the cities that are forsaken, which have become a prey unto the residue, right, of the heathen that are round about. So immediately, man, this precept kind of goes back and forth. Sometimes it's talking about like the land of Israel, man. And other times it's talking about the actual people of Israel. It's talking about the valleys, right, and the mountains, man. So you got big governments, you know, governing bodies within Israel, right? Like you got really when you go into it, man, kind of thinking of it on the spot, man. Right? You got the tribe of Judah, right? Tribe of Benjamin, right? Tribe of Levi, right? They're gonna be big government. You're gonna have big nations and small nations within that, but really the whole nation as a whole, right, was gonna be like as the sand of the sea, going back into the book of Hosea. But even within the sands of the sea, they're gonna be different sizes, man. So when it's talking about here, the valleys, right? What it says, let me quote it exactly, right? It says, therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord, and thus the Lord saith unto the mountains, to the hills, and to the rivers, and to the valleys, and the desolate wastes, man. All of those different governing bodies within Israel, man. All right? It says, and to the cities, right? And to the cities that are forsaken, which have become a prey, and the residue unto the heathen that are round about. Therefore, thus saith the Most High, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the heathen, right? So in the fire of the Most High's jealousy, why is it in the fire of the Most High's jealousy? Because he said, right, he that in the book of Zechariah, I believe it's like the 2nd chapter, man, right? He that touches the apple of my eye, man. So the Most High is likened unto us, likened the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans unto his woman, man. All right? He said, he that touches the apple of my eye, man. His focus, his focal point, man. Right? The only thing that he cares about, matter of fact, the proof on that is in the book of I believe it's in the book of Isaiah, man, when he talks about the nation as a drop of a bucket. He count of the abundance of him as a drop of a bucket, man. Right? So there's so much more. He don't give a damn about them, man. Right? All of these different nations that you go, you know, all around about us, man. He don't give a damn about them, man. His focal point, hence the apple of his eye, is the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and all of Israel scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, man. All right. So it says here, and therefore thus saith the Lord, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against Idumea, right, which have appointed my land into their possession, right? So the Idumea, man, right, principally you Edomites. So you got dudes out here that say, right, even amongst the people, you know, you got not necessarily within the realm of Israel, but you got dudes out there within the realm of Israel that say Esau ain't Esau ain't you know, the wicked and all of that, man. Right, and the Jews ain't the Edomites and all of that, man. Right, you're talking about them Jewish out there in the land of Israel right now, man. But the priest right there just said they appointed my land, Edom, right? I'll read it, man. Right, it says against the residue of the heathen, right? Against Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession, man. Right, because you got them Arabs up there that had the whole land for a point of time, man. All right, it says here, with the joy of all their hearts, with their despiteful minds, to cast it out for prey, man. Prophecy therefore concerning the land of Israel, talking about the land now, right? And say to the mountains and to the hills and to the governments and to the valleys, thus saith the Lord, I have spoken in the wrath of my in my jealousy and in my fury, right? Because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. And how did we born the shame of the heathen, man? Right? We went up all up into these different philosophies, man. For the matter of fact, man, you go to the book of Maccabees, the first chapter, round about the 30-something verse, man. Right? It goes to show you, man, when the Romans, when the Greeks under the so-called Alexander the Great were coming up into power, man. Right, they were making all kind of wars with different nations. Matter of fact, they had the land of Israel into a possession at one point, man. They started taking over that, man. Right, under Antiochus, Epiphanes and all of that, man. When they started coming up into the land and defiling our land and all of that, man. Right, but getting back onto the point, the scripture says there in about the 30-something verse, man. Right, among my people went forth wicked men, man. All right. So that's how we born the shame of the heathen, man, because they said, let's go make a covenant with the heathen, because when we was with the heathen, man, and we had covenant with an agreement with the heathen, right, we was all right. But really, they weren't all right, man. Just like how you got it right now, you got dudes that are sold out, right, for some Federal Reserve notes, man, right, for some bank notes, right, which ain't really even real money, man. If you go into what real money is, it's gold and silver and all that, man, right, land, cattle and all that, man. And Esau damn sure ain't gonna give you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans that, man. He ain't gonna give you that, man. Right? Because that will actually embetter you, man. Gold and silver and all of that, man. That's what Esau deals with, man. That's what the elite banking families deal with, man. They deal with resources, man. What you know as commodities. Right? They don't trade Federal Reserve notes on the stock market, man. They trade They trade actual commodities, man. Right? Land, gold, right? Silver, right? Oil. That's actual useful things, man. Not some damn piece of paper that you can create out of thin air, man. Right? You just go, they go on their computers and type in whatever they want to type in, and that's how they create them those currencies, man. Because they ain't real money, man. Right, and one of the other things that they trade on them stock markets is slaves, man. Because when you go into understanding what actual currency is and how it interacts with people, man, you find out really you're indebted to the elite banking families, man. Because every time you have a pound or a dollar or whatever it is, right, that's a certain amount of figure. Really, you like double or three or four times how much you have, right? That's how much you borrowed from the elite banking families, man, for that currency to exist, man. Right, so you're gonna have to pay that off. So doth not the scripture say, man, you're the borrower of usury, right? Is pretty much a slave to the lender of usury, man. So all of us are all by way of the monetary system. We're all slaves to the elite banking families, man. All right, and that's why they want to put an RFID chip in everybody, because when you go into the history and you see how people deal with their slaves, man, they would have marked their slave, man, because it's their property, man. And that's the same mark they're doing. Now it's a hyper-technological mark. They're going to inject you, and it's going to be electrical and shit. But it's the same mark, man. It's the same mark that they had back in the day, where they would have heated up some coals, man. Right? They got a metal rod, right, and on the end of it, they would have had their insignia. Which goes back into the word signature, I believe, man. Right? And they would have burnt that into their people, man. They still do that with cattle and that right now, man. Now they just made it a little bit more technical now, right? Where they're gonna put an electrical mark in there. But it's the same thing, man. It's the ownership of slaves. All right? Getting back into the scriptures right here. This is the 7th verse. It says, "Therefore thus saith the Lord, I have lifted up mine hand, and surely, right? Surely the heathen that are round about you, they shall bear their shame." It says, "But ye mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth your branches." Now this is talking about when we're going to be in those green pastures, man. When it's going to be lovely, man. Right? This is what's going to happen to the land. So right now, you got the people out there who call themselves the so-called Jews. We know as the so-called Jews, but they call themselves the real Jews and all of that. But we know that they ain't, because this prophecy hasn't come to pass here in the book of Ezekiel, the 36th chapter and the 8th verse. It says, "But ye, O mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth your branches, and yield your fruit to my people Israel, and ye are for they are at hand to come." All right, and now what's going to be the best fertilizer for that, man? It's going to be all of them Edomites out there that call themselves the so-called Jews being wiped off, man, by way of them Iranians, by way of them Russians, man. All right. It says there, ye shall yield your fruit to my people Israel. Ye shall which are at hand to come, man. When we go into the book of Daniel, the 2nd chapter on 44th verse, man, in the days of these kings, so the Most High set up a kingdom of heaven which shall never be destroyed, man, or left to other people, man. That's the same time that the Most High is preparing that land for, man. So pretty soon, man, that land is gonna start becoming fruitful again, man. Right? When we was all up in there, man, they knew it as a land that flowed with honey and milk, man. Meaning we had loads of grass and green pastures for the cattle to eat and for man to relax on, man. All right, it was fruitful, man, and that's the times we're coming back into right now, man. Right, where the heathens gonna remember what a real man is, man. Right, who the real alpha dog is, man. Who the real lion is. It's not Judah, right? Which are the Negroes referred to as the lion, man. Right, and the Lord Himself, who was a Judite, right? He's known as the conquering lion of Judah, man. Right, so when the Most High sets these people up, order's gonna be restored to the earth, man. You ain't gonna have little Edomites running around talking madness, man. Right? You're gonna fear when the man of the Lord come. In fact, when Samuel used to come into a city who was a man of the Lord, man, but people feared, man. They said, is he come for peace? Right, or is he come for war, man? Because that's how the real man of the Lord roll, man. Right? You got these dudes out there in the so-called black consciousness movement, right? Talking about the dark side of consciousness. Now, yeah, that is the dark side, the other side of consciousness. That's the dark side, man. If that's the people you're feeding, man, that goes to show you who you are, man. You're nothing but carnal babe, man. All right, and when the Most High, because we don't boast of our own power, man. When the Most High raises up the nation of Israel, the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, you're gonna see the dark side, right? Right, which is really the bright side. We're gonna see the other side of the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, man, of the elect, man. Right, because the Lord is known as a man of war, and you're gonna see right exactly what that statement's all about, man. Right, because doth not the scripture say the Lord's gonna be is raising up an exceedingly great army, man? Or is he talking about multitude and number? No, he's talking about power and might and spirit, man. Right, he says he's gonna change